fiddlesticks!
What, Wilbur?
We just got hit and I think my back has all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What?
Pipe down, Clarence! Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What?
Shut it, Clarence! If you get injured, the advocates get results.
AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Who Sucks Less on the way. First time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Had a couple on our question, what the hell is wrong with you right now? Guys, I had a day off. My knees somehow are sore after sitting at my computer drinking beer and playing video games all day. That from Brandon. Every morning I walk the dog, smoke a cigarette, and then I'm able to poop. Today my husband traded me kid carpool for the dog walk. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting for my colon to wake up. That from Sicily. Gentlemen, I have in both feet a slightly dislocated toe that causes terrible pain and keeps me awake unless I put on what I can best describe as a silicone toe wedge to help keep them straightened. And I'm losing hair and have an ever-rising front hairline. So I'm hoping that I wind up looking like Ben Franklin by the time I'm 70 in a couple decades. Liquor and crunchy peanut butter. That from Dennis.
It's only bad if you look like Ben Franklin and you're like 25.
Yeah, not good. Bitches, today is my 29th time around the sun. I was hoping I could get Coach Ted to give me some advice on my last year in my 20s and an original fish sandwich. Thanks, bitches. That from TJ.
Do I get a fish sandwich?
Last year, your 20s. Well, a lot of people tell you to live it up. This next year, you're 30. Coach is telling you the opposite. You need to calm down, all right? This is 29. We need to rest up. This next year is 30. That party's going to be a banger. Who knows? You'll have to fight off all the ladies. Drink all the drinks. Smoke all the weed. You got to be prepared. Rest up, son.
Guys, today is my and my father's birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. We love you. Love Megan, Danny Fish, and MT. Can I get a big old bong rip, a fish sandwich, and a suck-it-up cupcake, please?
A fillet of fish sandwich.
So, suck it up, cupcake.
And for me, can I get a happy 30-second trip around the sun with a bong rip and a suck-it-up cupcake? I love the kids. Thanks, guys, and love the show.
So, suck it up, cupcake.
Oh, but y'all, please wish my sister Diane, pronounced Jyen, a happy 35th birthday by having Ted from Melbourne explain why 35 is great, followed by some of Thrill's shotgun gets. That from her sister, Jen.
Yeah, Ted here from Melbourne, 35. You know, down here, doesn't matter if you're married or not. Nobody asks you about that in your 30s. Feel free to go home and play with all the cats you like.
Get! Oh, guys, I want to send a birthday request for myself. I live in the middle of nowhere in Idaho and would like the Dirty Germans to talk about Idaho's famous potatoes and what they will do with them for my 41st birthday today. Thanks, long-time listener, first-time birthday emailer. That from Todd.
Yeah, Todd, I'll introduce your math on this. Anytime the Dirty Germans visit Idaho, we play a game called Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, you have to be careful. It's going to get all rusted around. You don't want to spud on somebody.
Yeah, call it spud crud.
Spud on somebody?
Yeah. So, you know, every potato's better with a dollop of sour cream.
Yeah, a little dollop of daisy.
Damn, I was singing it again this morning.
Were you singing that?
I told you, my buddy's little kid gets all fired up and she sings it.
Like
everything's better with a dollop of daisy. But now I'm like at home, like, you know, there's a cut. She's not wrong.
Guys, I want to wish my dad, Mike, a very happy birthday. He's always there through thick and thin, inspired me to be a better everyday person, teaching me what it means to be a man and to take care of a family. That from your number one son, Justin. Hoping to get a fish sandwich and the Dirty Germans, talking to him about what it means to get the State Farm's Rogers rate for a Packers fan. Thanks, Men's Room. Appreciate it.
Can I buy you a fish sandwich?
Yeah, if you like packing so much, I'll certainly Roger you.
Yeah, it's the best part about the Rogers rate, if you're a Packers fan, is that once the whole country doesn't care about your little stupid team, you make it about yourself again. Like, oh, look at me. The media hasn't paid attention to me. Will I stay? Will I go? Like, I don't know. Maybe you try to win playoff game.
At home.
At home, right? Yeah, you know, it's in the American footballs, apparently it's hard to win at home.
Ultimate Shows, we love the show. Listen every afternoon. You guys are hilarious, and your banner makes us laugh out loud. This birthday greeting goes out to my husband, Rob. He is 54 years old, who was my favorite person and my best friend for the last 34 years. He would like an uh-oh lookout, some turtle sex, and your penis is too small. Take care, guys. That from the wife, Kathy.
Uh-oh, look out.
All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's the Dirty Germans, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Bob. A couple extra emails here. Mike, this one's for you. The subject is Mike Hawk.
Oh, nice.
It says Ola for Mike Hawk.
Yes.
Mike, I came across this list on Reddit.
Cool.
And immediately thought of you. This is basically a thesaurus of alternative curse words. My dad used for the love of Mike and HE double toothpicks. A hell of a lot growing up. Mm-hmm. That is from Scott. Would you like a couple of these alternative cuss words?
Oh, please.
Okay.
I always thought it was for the love of Pete.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can fill in any name, but Pete seems to be the most popular.
Mm-hmm. For the love of Pete.
Yeah. For the love of Gary.
All right. Okay, if you're miffed, you can use shucks, rats, gosh, shizzle, and toot.
I've used shizzle and toot.
I like toot. Toot's good.
I want to hear you use shizzle.
Toot.
Oh, shizzle.
If you're looking for words, say
Snoop
with...
Dogg officially stopped saying it.
Yeah.
If you want Snoop to stop saying things, have Mike say it.
There's also crapola, turd, sheesh, flippin', phooey, ticked, heck, shoot, jeepers, geez, crud, dag, dang, darn it.
I hate to say that I've used most of those.
I was going to say a lot of those I've heard out of your mouth within the last 2 months.
There's also bleep, bodger, snot, wingnut, nerds, criminy, cripes, crepes, doo-doo, and caca.
I was never a self-bleeping guy. That guy was always a little too weird even for me.
Where you bleeping?
I'm walking down to the store and this mother bleeper.
Yep.
What do you mean?
If you're exasperated, there's good gravy, good grief, gadzooks, jackwagon,
Gadzooks,
bull snot, fiddle faddle, fiddle faddle fiddlesticks, crud muffin, cotton pickin', malarkey,
Yep.
Mylanta,
Yep.
what the hey,
Yep.
buckethead,
No.
Shucky darn,
No.
dad burn it, dad nab it, dad sarmit,
Yes, all of the above.
confound it,
Yep.
doggone it,
Yep.
dad blame it, dad gum it,
There you go.
and dad blast it.
Yep.
As
My
far-
old man always said horse feathers.
I've heard that one.
If he was ever calling me out on something, horse feathers, I know what he wanted to say.
Well, there's
now.
horse hockey, horse pucky, horse feathers,
pucky, yep.
and horse patootie.
Horse patootie.
Son of a biscuit eater, son of a Baptist preacher,
Nope.
son of a bacon bit,
Yep.
son of a nutcracker,
Yep.
son of a motherlescope.
Yep.
Did you write this list, Mike?
I will stay quiet on that one.
All right. There's for heaven's sake, for the love of Pete,
Yep.
for Pete's sake,
Yep.
for crying out loud.
Yep.
And then if you're not having it, you've got Great Googly Moogly, Great Caesar's Ghost, Jeez Louise,
Yep.
Mother Francis, Judas Priest,
Yeah.
Shut Your Pie Hole,
Yep.
Kiss My Grits, Heavens to Betsy,
Yep.
Bolshevik,
Like the country or the area?
Yeah, Bolshevik.
what the devil, Rasta Frosta, Rasta Frosta, Jehoshaphat, Booger Snot,
Yeah, I've heard that one.
From Yosemite Sam.
Booger Snot, Fart Knocker, Mother of Pearl, Bull Twinkies, G Willikers,
Yep.
H-E double hockey sticks, Farfignugan, shut the front door, and suck eggs. Those are all some of the...
by the way, Mike, people have added dag nabbit, bologna sauce, and fudge and crackers. I like bologna sauce.
Bologna sauce.
That's a bunch of bologna sauce right there.
That goes beyond bologna, the bologna sauce.
Do you ever hit it with the Trinity?
What's that?
Jesus. Mary and Joseph.
That's blaspheming time.
And one more. The subject is a kid story. All of Micholos, we have loads of stories about my son growing up in Europe. No fail, he would hurt himself during every single vacation or some other fiasco. Examples: he split his chin while at lunch prior to our tour of the Prajama Castle in Slovenia. He got his hand stuck in the Toledo tourism office sliding glass doors in Spain, giving all the ladies a literal heart attack and left one on the verge of crying. He burned his hand later that evening on a lava lamp in our B&B. He lost a Ninja Turtle figurine head while at the beach in Greece. He threw an absolute fit, and we had to search for it in the surf. He demanded we run back to the house, put our swimsuits on to do a rescue mission. Never found it. We still have the headless toy. He slammed into our coffee table and split his eyebrow open at the same time. I'm dealing with some punks throwing glass and rocks at our home in Germany. German kids don't understand what Halloween is, so they do tricks instead of asking for candies. Good times. I have a ton more stories about him. We get a kick embarrassing him, retelling these experiences. That from Camden's mom, Michelle.
Now, the men's room wants to know, who sucks last?
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Last. Steve McCall, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They all suck. It's up to us to determine of these 3 stories which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to follow KISW on Twitter, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed, and we have 3 stories for you, as you said. We have one that we're going to call Congrats on the New Kid, followed by Kettle Corn, which both of you are fans of.
Love it.
And we'll wrap it up with a little story we call Why Do You Keep Hitting Yourself? All right. So let's start with Congrats on the Kid. A 43-year-old woman in Georgia named Robin Folsom. She worked for the state of Georgia as the director of external affairs. Well, in October of 2020, she told HR that she was pregnant and then announced that she had given birth in May. She was then awarded 7 weeks of paid leave, as is the case. Well, her story started to unravel, partially because she sent pictures of her new baby to some of the coworkers. And the babies featured in the photos seemed to have, quote, varying skin tones. Well, the office conducted an investigation and found out she had not delivered a child, and this was not the first time. She pulled a similar scheme before, falsely claiming that she'd given birth in July of 2020. She was just indicted on 3 felony counts of making false statements. She's also charged with 1 count of identity fraud, which is also a felony. We now go to the story titled Kettle Corn. A family was shocked when they found a stranger sleeping on their sofa after they forgot to lock their door. But there was more to come. A woman took to Facebook to share pictures of the man on her sofa. The man had left surprises for the family in the kitchen. There was vomit on the floor and poop in the kettle, which begs the question, who poops in the kettle? Anyway, the woman wrote, quote, at the weekend, my husband left our conservatory door open after I'd gone to bed, and he forgot to close it. Sunday morning, 5 a.m.-ish, my little girl goes downstairs to watch TV instead of waking us up. But she immediately comes back upstairs saying, there's a man downstairs talking to himself. She said, I thought it was just her imagination, half asleep. I told her, go back to bed, and then I go back to bed. Anyway, I go down to make a cup of tea and make breakfast around 7 a.m. It turns out there is a man talking to himself downstairs. And when we decided to boil some water, she found out that he had pooped in the kettle. She adds, we quickly found out that he had defecated inside of our kettle as well as vomited in the kitchen. They then called the police, and he was arrested. Who poops in a kettle? Sorry. And now we go to Leesburg, Virginia, where an ER doctor, he's been arrested and charged with 3 counts of battery after striking a patient numerous times because he believed that the patient was faking their medical condition. Now, they don't say what medical condition this patient apparently was in, but the doctor wasn't buying it. So doctor, whose name I cannot pronounce, he was arrested and booked into jail. Now, according to the arrest affidavit, the doctor attempted to confirm suspicions that his patient was faking by grabbing her hand and repeatedly striking her in the face. When the patient did not respond to that, he left the room. He then returned 2 additional times and used her hand to hit her in the face again multiple times. During the second time, the victim's IV line was ripped out of her arm. She bled all over her face and her chest. She also sustained significant swelling and redness and bruising to her eye because the doctor kept slapping her in the face with her own hand. One witness told police the doctor was laughing and mocking the patient for faking her condition and continued hitting the patient until the nursing staff finally stepped in and broke it up. Another witness told police it's common practice to hold a patient's hand over their face and drop it to make sure they're not faking. Because if the patient's alert, they either moved or they'll stop their hand to prevent it from hitting their face. But in this case, that did not happen. All 3 times he went in there and bitch slapped her around with her own face. The witness stated they saw the victim physically resisting the doctor's action, but he started getting angry and started hitting the victim harder. He was arrested. Yeah. Turns out they weren't faking their condition.
I'm going to say the doctor is the one that sucks the most in this. I think the stranger sleeping downstairs, based on the fact that he's obviously mentally ill or on drugs, I'm going to give him the pass on this one. Even though he pooped in a kettle and threw up all over the kitchen floor.
I can deal with the vomit.
You can clean that up. You can buy a new kettle. Fortunately, no family members were harmed.
Sure.
He was arrested. There was no other destruction of property involved. If a guy's talking to himself, you know there's something wrong with him. Yeah, I'm going to say that that sucks the least.
Okay, remind me again, the woman in Georgia.
Yeah.
Was she working for a giant company?
No, she worked for the state itself. She worked for the state of Georgia itself. She worked for the director of external affairs, whatever the hell that is. But yeah. So she's a state employee.
Yeah, see that? If she was working for a giant company, I might give her a pass.
All right, okay. Yeah, I feel it.
And honestly say, respect the hustle. Right, because, I mean, that's a long con.
And you've done it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she did get arrested.
She did get arrested.
Yeah, but, like, you're taking money from taxpayers if you work for the state.
Correct.
So that's where I'm
Correct.
Like, that's a difference, right? Like, no offense, name any giant company. Like, yeah, all right, you scam them out of
you got the money.
Leave.
You just don't want to pay people, right? That's any company. You got the money. You just don't want to pay them.
Yeah. And the ER doctor, right? This is standard practice.
If you believe that someone's faking, because you get those people, right? So the idea is, I lift your hand up. Your natural response to avoid hitting yourself in the face is to either stop your hand, right? Or move your head. So this guy just kept smacking her.
How many times did he hit her?
He did it on 3 separate occasions, but keep in mind, he did it to the point, one, her face was bruised by the time he's done. Again, with her own hand. And on the second time that he went in, he managed to knock the IV out of her arm and she bled everywhere.
Yes, that's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad, yeah.
Man, Miles, I might have to go with you on the...
Guy's obviously mentally ill or he's so high on drugs he doesn't know what's going on.
Sure. Maybe he's just wasted.
Could be that too.
I mean, look, you're competing with some real scumbags and you can poop in a kettle in someone else's home and we're like, you might suck the least.
That's why I'm like, in the grand scheme, like... I might go with the woman in Georgia. Because at the end of the day, she committed a crime, but nobody was physically hurt.
Correct.
She got arrested for it.
She did get arrested, right. No doubt.
Like, I mean, for that family, it's going to be weird, right? You said there was kids and like...
Yeah, she had a daughter, went down and saw the guy first.
Right, the guy's sleeping on a couch. He's vomited on your floor and he's pooped in a kettle.
That's where I have a real hard time with this. I get that people get messed up. People puked in my house before. Hell, I puked to people's house. People puke in cars. You know what I mean? But like, bro, I know this sounds petty, but you pooped in my kettle. And like I told Mike, like, I would just call the cops if you're in my home and you puked on the floor. If you pooped in my kettle, honest to God, and I know this is stupid, I'm going to beat your ass first, then I'm going to call the cops. I don't know. That to me, you have crossed the line, man.
It is a bit of a crime of opportunity, though, as they didn't lock the door.
That's true.
And maybe the bathroom was upstairs, and he just couldn't find it.
Yeah, I mean, I've peed in a kitchen sink.
I've done that. But I've never pooped in a kettle. I feel like there's just a line, man.
I don't know that I've ever pooped in a kitchen.
The people who home you stayed in, do they know that
to this day?
No.
Yeah. And I saw that guy.
Do you think out of all the people that have hosted a night with Ted Smith are wondering right now, like,
everybody
Ted pee in our kitchen sink?
I knew you did it, Ted.
It could be
Nobody should be worried, except maybe you two, because it happened on the East Coast.
Ooh, okay. All right.
I'm going to guess, just based on the layout of our places.
No, you're fine. You've heard the story.
All right.
It was my other buddy. It's awful. We were supposed to hang out. We go out. And then right before we go, when we get there, he's like, hey, we got to leave. We got to be really quiet. My wife one of their old teachers died. So there's going to be a bunch of people sleeping in the living room.
God, yes.
So basically, we slept on the kitchen. Like, I didn't want to wake them up, so instead of going to the bathroom, I peed in the sink, and then I stole a donut when I left.
You're so thoughtful. I don't want to wake you up. So I peed in your sink.
Well, at the time, it seemed like I was being nicer.
You should say these things out loud.
Well, no, that would have woke him up.
Debate continues on Who Sucks Less. If you follow KISW on Twitter, you are listening to the Men's Room.
Bro, gnarly.
What's up, Taylor?
Dude, that nerd in his electric hybrid totally blew the light while texting his yuppie friends.
That's so bogus, bro. Are you hurt?
Yeah, like I can't move my hips, bro. I think I broke my pelvis, man.
Dude, no way.
Way.
Taylor, you need to drop a dime and talk with the lawyers at the Advocates Law Firm.
No way, can't afford that, bro.
Your crotch is broken, man, and they don't earn any money unless they win your case.
Dude, no way.
You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, coming up in just minutes, we'll drink, we'll toast for the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines coming up at 5:50. But first, quick check in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, beekeepers are starting to put tracking devices on their beehives because they're having such a problem with thieves stealing them.
That does not seem like something that you would want to steal.
Right?
Well, I mean apparently the bees are pretty chill. For the most part.
Well, you have to have some knowledge.
Right. I mean, that's as much knowledge as I have. I still would not do it.
I need honey.
Right.
And I'm about to say, who doesn't, want free honey whenever they can get it?
Yeah, it's always been a thing for me. You've won a free lifetime supply of honey.
It's what I'm needing in my life, man.
I take the free samples down to the market every time I pass them.
Oh, every time, yeah.
Sure, why not? A 30-year-old dad came up with a hack for peace of mind about his daughter on her very first day of school by sewing an air tag into one of her shoes. So I had never even heard of these things before, but air tags are basically little tracking devices that you can put on whatever it is that you lose. It could be your keys, it could be your phone, blah, 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 whatever it is. And then you could use your phone to find it. He sewed it right into her shoe.
I would think maybe you want to send your kid to a different school.
Yeah,
if that's one of your primary, there's things to worry about when you kid. Are they going to be okay without me? They going to be used to the tea, but not like someone's going to kidnap their ass. They're going to disappear, and I'll never see them again.
I mean, that's the thing. For generations, people have sent kids to school, and they generally come home.
They do, and not pre-air tag.
Exactly.
Yeah. That seems almost like a little much. Air tags are.
There's a lot of people kind of raising an eyebrow at those things.
Yeah, because people are putting them on women's cars and stuff. It's creepy.
It gets bad. A new study found that you're 62% less likely to die from heart disease if you set aside 4 hours a day performing daily chores.
4 hours?
4 hours a day?
4 hours.
Thank you.
Okay, sure.
I got to set aside a month and a half to get my house that messy.
Right?
What are you doing for 4 hours?
I don't have 4 spare hours in the day.
Outside of a job, what else? I'm trying to think of something weekday. Right. But outside of jobs, what would you? Nobody does anything for 4 hours.
No.
I mean, sleep. Honestly, I can't think of anything. 4 hours just consistently, work and sleep. Man.
Well, this show's 4 hours.
Right, that's what
I was doing push-ups the whole time.
But they're talking daily chores, so it's like
daily. Some kind of
right.
Vacuuming.
I don't know how that's supposed to better your heart to where you don't die of heart disease.
What they should just say is you have the same chance of dying from heart disease as you did before you read this.
Right.
You don't have 4 hours of chores to do a day.
And
a day. That is insane.
And how do they determine that? Do they wait for somebody to die from heart disease and did you do 4 hours worth of chores every day?
He lived in a dirty house.
Well, dude, you know what? You're right too. If you cleaned up for 4 hours,
spotless.
Yeah. Like, you got to do that again the next day?
But you might not die of heart disease, but you'll be diagnosed with OCD.
Right. At this point, you're regrouting your bathroom, man.
Right.
Goodness gracious. There's a lawmaker in California that has introduced a Bill of Rights for cats and dogs, giving them freedoms and rights like freedom from neglect and abuse, the right to health care, nutritious food, and appropriate exercise.
I think if you violate those laws in the first place, they just call it animal cruelty.
Right.
Right. If word gets out that you are neglecting your pet, that's what they already do.
Right. Mm-hmm. Be good to your pet. Give them food that is good for them. Take them out for a walk. Play with them.
Yeah, like anything. If people get wind that you're mistreating or neglecting your animal and they contact the authorities, they already nab you on that.
Right.
It's not a Bill of Rights.
Yeah, it doesn't need a Bill of Rights.
No.
Good work, California. There's a 16-month-old kid in Georgia that's been diagnosed with a rare condition called uncombable hair syndrome.
I saw a picture. So
it's pretty crazy.
Is it? I actually didn't see it.
His head looks like cotton candy or something.
You look like Boris Johnson.
Gotcha.
I mean, this kid, it looks like Boris Johnson, but there's a lot of static in his clothing. So your hair just sticks up like you're touching one of those electric ball kind of things, right? It just looks like that all the time.
See, my hair never did anything good if it got any longer than a certain amount. I had like a permanent cowlick. That doggone thing would suck. That's why I got into wearing hats, because my hair was awful.
So I don't have any.
I was happy to get rid of that doggone stuff, man. It sucked. I had a widow's peak out the ass by the time I was 20 years old. It was thin. Like I said, the cowlick, it just became a bush if I grew it out. Like a lot of these guys had really nice flowing hair. I could never get that done. So
you're one of the happiest men to go bald out.
Yes, I might have had uncombable hair syndrome, and I get it. I'm a fake bald guy. I bick my head every morning, but I don't care. I was tired of my hair. That stuff sucked.
Fake bald?
Yeah.
He's shaving it, he said.
Right. I feel like that's a thing. I feel like I've heard that within the bald community that, like...
That's for people that have full heads.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, man. You already had a widow peak and stuff. You just did the smart thing and cut it off. Like if Miles, like for instance, Marshawn, he can grow a full head of hair. He buzzes it. He's kind of like, I'm like, why? You're kind of fake bald. Sorry, Mike, you don't get to claim that. Like that thing was on its last legs.
I didn't know on which side of that line I was.
No, like if Miles showed up bald, we'd be like, all right, what's the charity that you donated your hair to?
I have cancer.
Man, oh man, I feel so bad.
I'm sorry. A town in Ohio is solving their pothole problem using phone books.
Good, because no one else is using them for anything.
What else are you using the phone book for?
For real.
I mean, honestly, they don't serve much purpose.
It's been a long time.
It was amazing, man, when we had that cold spell between Christmas and New Year's.
Okay.
You know, the first one, not this one.
Sure.
When the roads cleared, it was amazing the damage that was done from that 1 week.
Oh, yeah.
As far as potholes in the road, like I couldn't believe people were out on two wheels. Just because it seemed like, man, if you stick a front end of a scooter motorcycle in one of those, you're going over the handlebars.
There was a run on my morning commute where the potholes were absolutely outrageous. Like I had to weave into the other lane of traffic just to avoid these things, and it wasn't like a little bump here and there. These things were deep. Yeah. They were going to do some.
But you're talking in an area where winter and that cold lasts for months.
Right.
So in Ohio, those cold streaks are longer,
forever.
Longer. So it's
all winter.
They get a problem.
Yeah, man. 63% of people think that they can cook as well as a professional chef.
You can't.
No.
Right.
You got a few dishes you can do exceptionally well. Just the level of versatility of a chef versus the average person is the difference. So there's a lot of people that cook certain things really, really well, where I'd say go compete against, like some guy, like a barbecue. Like, dude, go compete,
you know what?
But a chef, just understand, a chef is fully trained in everything they do. That's all.
They can do it. And not only that, but maybe this is the wrong thing to say. If you have a Traeger or a smoker or something like that, and you've learned to hook up good ribs, brisket, whatever you make, tri-tip, but chicken, typically if you go to a nice restaurant, that is not the kind of food that chefs are preparing. No. If you go to a barbecue place, I don't consider the guy who's the barbecuer, I don't consider him a chef.
He doesn't either. He's the smoke king, the sauce king, the meat king, the rub king. Rarely would they say, "Oh, I'm the chef."
The guy who makes pizza, it's not that he's not makes a great pizza.
Right.
He's not a chef. He's not like making sauces and you know what I mean, doing all this stuff.
I don't know, man. Some of the origins of pizza in this country come from dudes that were making their own sauces.
Sure.
Thus, they all had names on them. Right? Like when you go back to New York, it's like Joe's, Pete's, because they were like, I want you to know that's my sauce.
Did you know the idea of, I read this about pizza sauce. Pizza sauce is one of those sauces that should not be cooked You should mix the ingredients together and keep it cold, and then let the sauce cook while the pizza cooks.
Nice.
To bring it all together. I didn't know that. I just figured you cook a pot of sauce.
But that's what we do here.
Right,
Sure.
you know what I mean?
I'm a throw. I think a lot of people can cook a lot of things very well. I think the biggest difference in the kitchen, honestly, is just the equipment.
The equipment. And Uli said it best. He said, it's impossible for you to make the best product if you don't have the best equipment.
Sure.
And he's staunch with that. So he's like, look, when you go into a professional kitchen, if you're a good cook, you'll do better there.
Yeah.
Right? Things are just easier. You can make a mess. But chefs know what they're doing on so many different levels. It's unbelievable. That's all.
Right.
That said, a lot of people cook better meals than I've gotten at a lot of restaurants.
Sure.
There's no doubt about that.
And I'm calling that guy at the pizza place chef.
Right. Chef pizza.
Some people call themselves chefs. They don't even work in kitchens. I've heard of it.
A new study ranked all 50 states from the most sinful to the least sinful. Rankings are based on stats that match the 7 deadly sins, such as crime rates for wrath, theft rates for jealousy, fast food joints per capita for gluttony, casinos for greed, porn site use for lust, plastic surgery rates for vanity, and exercise rates for sloth. My question to you guys is, what do you think are the 10 most sinful states?
Well, let's take Nevada out of it, because that's a given.
Right.
I'll say Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Bastard.
Mississippi.
I was going to say
Again,
Louisiana.
because the food is good. There is some gambling in all those states.
Okay.
But then the flip side is plastic surgery doesn't really figure into those areas. So plastic surgery, now I'm headed to California, Massachusetts, New York, places with money, right?
Not bad calls. Ted Smith, any...
Florida's got
Louisiana was high on the list, but just out of I'm going to throw Jersey in there.
Jersey. All right, so here are the 10 most sinful states. Again, based on roundabout the 7 deadly sins. Number 10 being Illinois.
Well, Chicago's got great food.
Chicago has fantastic food.
And they drink.
Number 9, South Carolina.
I would not have guessed that one. Because just no casinos. Like, I'm thinking casinos, too, and just like... is that the state you drove through that had all the strip club billboards? Or was that North Carolina?
Yeah, I was coming back from that. No, I guess it was North Carolina. I was coming back from the Outer Banks. But you see them.
Again, we got crime rates, theft rates, fast food joints, casinos, porn site use, plastic surgery, and exercise.
South Carolina has some fast food joints you don't find anywhere else in the country.
And for a reason.
Cookout.
Yeah.
All right. These are the most sinful states. Number 8 being Georgia.
Okay. I have not spent a lot of time in Georgia in my adult life. I did when I was like 18, 19, 20. But I just haven't since then.
Atlanta and Savannah are great.
All right.
Savannah's beautiful.
Number 7, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Do they don't...
It's not vanity.
Okay.
Right?
Shouldn't be.
I'm just going with food.
It's not exercise.
Yeah, right. A lot of food, a lot of do nothing.
Crime rates, porn site use, plastic surgery.
Philly, that could be mostly Philly.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like crime rates, plastic surgery, food. And they're famous for, like cheesesteaks.
Yeah, right.
Number 6 of the list of the most sinful states, Tennessee.
Woo!
Well, they got some gambling. They have some great
Riverboat
food.
gambling? Is that what's in Tennessee?
They definitely have that much. I'm not sure if they have any land casino. There is some gambling there. It's Memphis. You can gamble in Memphis. On the boats, at least.
All right, yeah, that's the way it was in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
Also, to Memphis's credit, they're famous just because their ribs are wet.
The ribs are wet. The murder rate's through the roof.
Yeah.
All right.
They check a lot of those boxes.
Number 5 is where we get to the first guess here, Louisiana. Number
it's
5
built in. They'll even tell you that.
Is it just New Orleans?
No.
I haven't really been anywhere else in the
New
States.
Orleans is what you'll see, but New Orleans will be the most sophisticated part of Louisiana you're going to go to. That puts it in perspective. And they're pretty open about we're just here to drink, eat, dance in the middle of the street, have a good time. Exercise, that's for chump. Actually, it is so goddamn hot there, it's hard to put on weight.
Oh, all
Eat all the
right.
food you want. Stand outside for 10 minutes. That's the equivalent of like 4 hours of cardio.
I also think, a lot of that culture is based off Outcast, right?
Yes.
That's
their
how
claim
you
to
get
fame.
the French Creole and you get all these mixtures together. And he's right. It's like eat, drink, be merry.
There you go. Ted, you nailed number 4 of the 10 most sinful states, Florida.
That was me. But
I could have sworn he said Florida, but yes, Mr. Hill, you got it.
Me and Ted look a lot alike.
I'm just going to keep on moving. Number 3, Texas.
He's saying I'm not tall.
Right.
Yes.
Got a longer
Texas
beard.
must be plastic surgery.
You think?
I think they're probably high up.
Food.
on that.
I'm about to say the food.
Promise you they are high on plastic surgery.
Exercise rates.
Dallas is
the epicenter.
Yeah, it really is.
Houston's not too far behind. Like where Dallas does plastic surgery, Houston's doing food.
Gotcha.
Put them together, it's a lot of pretty people getting fat.
Number 2, you guys got it, California.
California.
California. Basically everything that you want. Crime rates, theft rates, fast food joints, casinos, porn site, plastic surgery, exercise rates, no. Also casinos. Do they have many casinos down there in California?
You know what? I really do not know.
I feel like as soon as I said
there
that,
are, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
I assume they would have tribal casinos.
They
like
do.
we
That's exactly what
right.
they have.
But it's tough to know. It's like Maryland has them now, but like there's got to be other states besides Maryland who just said, screw it, we're just legalizing it.
Right. We're just going to put them up.
I think Delaware did.
And the number 1 most sinful state to the surprise of everyone. Ohio. No, Nevada.
No, Ohio.
You got to win Nevada. Speed round here for the least sinful states. Any guesses real quick before we get started there as far as the least sinful states?
Utah.
I would say that except for porn usage. They're number 1.
Right. In Utah, porn's to the roof.
Yeah.
I'm still going to say Utah. You don't have a huge crime rate.
Actually, number 9 on this list.
Really?
For the least. Number 10 being Nebraska. Then you got Utah, North Dakota at number 8, number 7 Minnesota, and number 6 New Hampshire. These are the least sinful states. Number 5 being Iowa, 4 South Dakota, number 3 is Vermont, 2 Wyoming, and the least sinful state in the United States,
Alaska.
Idaho.
So it's harder to sin if there's not people.
There you go. There's just nobody there.
I know when you go over the border to Spokane, Coeur d'Alene area, it's like liquor stores, strip clubs
that serve liquor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all right there. It's like, come here.
Right in that little pencil.
Come to Idaho.
Yeah, it's like on the state line or something.
Mm-hmm. There's a crime spree of theft going on in Japan, but you'll never guess what they're stealing.
What are they stealing?
Tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-421-ROCK. All right, we made it to drinking time.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.